There are three key Scrum accountabilities: developer, product owner, and Scrum Master. We'll go through them one by one. Let's see what is Scrum Team first. Basically, Scrum Team consists of three kind of accountabilities, which are basically the product owner. So there is only one product owner in a Scrum team. Then there are developers. There can be n number of developers in a Scrum team, and then there is a Scrum Master accountability. So some master is always one person. So total in total, a Scrum team consists of 10 or fewer people. And out of these 10 people, basically, one is product owner, another the second person is Scrum Master, and then the rest of them are developers. So what it means is developers, tend to be eight or less people. And what are the responsibilities or accountabilities of each of these roles? We'll go through them one by one. So the Scrum team basically ensures that the right quality is built inside each and every uh, feature or PBI they are building from the very beginning. And what is actually a Scrum team? Scrum team is basically the fundamental unit of Scrum. So in the entire Scrum is built using the Scrum team. That's why it's called as the fundamental unit of Scrum. Then it consists of one Scrum Master, one product owner, and up to eight developers. Right? This is yeah. Then it doesn't have any sub teams or hierarchies. No sub team or hierarchy. So what it means is all these roles, which is product owner, developer, or Scrum Master, they are at same level. Nobody is reporting to no one. So all these three roles are at same level. That is very important point to remember. Uh, uh, that no one in a Scrum team, no one is manager of no one. Everyone is at same level. No hierarchies, no sub teams. Sub team means there is no divisions between any of these. For example, there is no testers or business analysts, nothing like that. Everyone within developers are developers. Cohesive units of professional focused on one objective at a time, the product goal. So all people in the Scrum team are always focused on one objective at a time, and that one objective is the product goal. And remember, at a time, there can be only one active product goal, no more than one product goal at one point in time. And then the next point is basically the Scrum team is cross functional. What does that mean is basically the Scrum members have all the skills which are required to create value in each sprint. So indirectly it means that let's say we are building a piece of software. That means the Scrum team have the skills within the team. They have the skills to define the requirements of this software. They have the skills to code it. They have the skill to test it. They have the skill to deploy it in various environments. That's a high level example. Obviously, the skills required uh, um, can be different based on the feature we are developing, based on the organization we are working on, or based on the product we are working on. Self managing. So they internally decide who does what and when and how. So basically, they don't have any manager who will tell them what to do. Internally, together as Scrum team, they discuss what they will be working on, when they will working on, and how they will be working on. All this is a kind of internal decision done within the Scrum team by the team members, small enough to stay nimble and big enough to complete the significant work in within a team. So basically, the Scrum team is 10 people or less. And why it is 10 people or less? Because if you have a bigger team, then it will become too much difficult to communicate with each other, to collaborate with each other. That's why the recommended number by Scrum is 10 people or less. And when you have this size, this is small enough to be nimble or agile, right? And it is big enough, 10 people are big enough to basically deliver a significant piece of work. Let's say we are building a significant piece of work within a sprint. These 10 people are enough to deliver it. Structured and empowered by the organization to manage their own work. So the organization which is employing these people, they give them enough empowerment so that each of these individual within the Scrum team can manage their own work by discussing with each other, right? They don't need to basically be managed by a managers, because there is no manager in a Scrum team. Countable for creating a valuable, useful increment every sprint. So the entire Scrum team together is accountable for creating the valuable and useful increment every sprint. Why they are saying useful is because the key idea of Scrum is every sprint after sprint, we should be delivering increment of a product which is useful to the user, right? We should not be building something which is not which cannot be used by the user. Basically, we should be aiming towards building something which we should be aiming towards building an increment which is useful by the user by the end of the sprint. Responsible for all product related activities. So the Scrum team is responsible for all product related activities, whether it is stakeholder collaborating with stakeholders, verification, maintenance, operations, experimentation, research, and development. What does that mean? Basically, if we are working on, if the Scrum team is working on a PBI which needs collaboration with other stakeholders which doesn't sit within the Scrum team, so that stakeholder collaboration is also responsibility of Scrum team. Verification means basically the Scrum team have built a feature, but it needs testing, right? So the Scrum team is responsible for the verification or testing of that feature as well. Then maintenance. Let's say they have built some feature and now there is some maintenance work coming related to that feature. So the Scrum team is responsible for maintaining that feature, right? In same way, if there is some experimentation or research required for building some kind of features, the Scrum team is responsible for that as well. And if we are developing some feature, for example, if you are developing a software, then in that case, coding is also responsibility of the Scrum team. And we have to remember that when the Scrum guide is defining responsible for all product related activities, uh, and they are giving these points are just example. Based on the product you are building, the activities can change, right? The activities which are will be required to build to build that increment of product can vary based on the product, based on the organization. But the key idea here is the Scrum team is responsible for all product related activities. Okay. Scrum team usually consists of 10 or fewer people. And teams that are too large uh, uh, create too much complexity to manage by empirical process. So if you are having a very large team, then it becomes too much complex to coordinate, to communicate, collaborate. All those problems start coming.